I don't know about you, but I want to be a millionaire. I've got a long ways to go before I get there, but in today's video, I'm going to share with you my current net worth, and I'm going to break down my plan to hit that $1 million net worth. If you're interested, if you have similar goals, you're in a similar spot financially, or maybe you're just a nosy person who wants to judge a stranger's finances on the internet, totally fine. I love to do that too. You're in the right place. To put it very simply, net worth is your assets minus your liabilities, so the value of everything that you own minus the value of any debts you might have. Personally, I started tracking my net worth about 4 years ago when I was 23 years old. I was just at the beginning of my personal finance journey. I was reading every book I could get my hands on. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos and just learning everything that I could. And so a month before I made my first investment, I decided to track my net worth. I knew that it was going to be bad because I didn't really have any assets at the time and I had a healthy amount of liabilities, but I wanted to track it because I knew that from that point forward, I was going to be working on increasing my net worth, and it was going to be really nice to see where I started. And I was right, it has been really nice to look back on these numbers and see the growth that I've made in the last 4 years. I did not think I would be where I'm at today, and I'm not at some crazy number today, but I have made significant progress. So from that point forward, I really started to lock in and put all of my money into investing, saving, and paying off debt. I was still a full-time student, so I wasn't making a ton of money, but the money that I was making, I was putting to work. So by the time I was 24, I'd increased my net worth from negative $25,000 to negative $16,000, the majority of which came from gains in crypto, which I got very lucky. I invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum when Bitcoin was 10,000 and Ethereum was like 300. And I didn't know much of anything at the time. Most of these decisions that I was making here in these couple months were pretty dumb. They weren't well informed. If I'm looking back, I would have taken all of that money that I put into crypto and I would have put it into my Roth IRA. But I didn't, and thankfully I got lucky. Thankfully I made good investments, even if they weren't smart investments, and they've paid off well so far. But I wouldn't recommend following the exact path I took at the beginning here, because it's heavily skewed my portfolio to crypto, and now I'm actively trying to rebalance my portfolio. Over that next year when I was 24, I focused heavily on paying off my car loan, and then I also put a bit more money into my Roth IRA. Crypto bull market took off and I saw my account go all the way up to 25,000. It came back down at the end of the year and I closed out at 19, but again, that did the majority of the work for my portfolio this year, and I closed out at $1,200, which was so exciting for me. Like, I was over a $0 net worth for the first time in my life. But of course, that very next year, the markets humbled me, crypto crashed. I saw my portfolio at its peak go from 25,000 down to 7,000, my crypto portfolio, not my overall. So that was a big hit that next year, but I also managed to pay off my car loan in full. So that was huge, and that saved me from really tanking my net worth, but it dropped down to negative 4,000. So I was back in the negative. Wasn't happy about that, but it was a great year in terms of getting my car paid off, and then also just learning how to mentally be okay as my portfolio is going down. And like now, it's a lot easier for me to manage those months where I'm seeing numbers in the red. So, you know, it sucked in the moment, but in hindsight, I'm really glad that it happened. So by the time I was 26, I had that negative $4,000 net worth. Fortunately, the year after that was my first full year out of school, working full-time, making a decent salary. And so I was able to really focus on investing, saving, and upping my net worth. I was able to get it up to 22,000. About half of that came from building up an emergency savings fund, which I got from absolutely nothing when I was graduating from college, to about $12,000 by the time I turned 27. And then on top of that, the crypto market picked back up. I made about another $10,000 there. And then I opened up a 401k through my company, and I also put some more money in my Roth IRA. So the combination of all that, and I started paying off my student loans just barely towards the end of that year. All of that combined got me up to 22,000. So that was last December. Now we are in August, 5 months away from turning 28. Let's take a look at my current numbers, because things have jumped up significantly this year as well. No idea how I'll end the year. We'll make another video for that, but right now things are looking good. So starting off with the assets that I own, crypto, obviously I've talked about that, has made up the majority of my portfolio leading up to this point. It still is going to be about 50%, over 50%, sorry, of my portfolio. I'm really working to get this percentage down. I want to have crypto be more like 20% of my portfolio, which is still pretty high risk, but I have a lot of conviction around crypto. I understand the markets pretty well. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to everything else in my portfolio, but with crypto, I'm okay with that level of risk. That said, 50% is way too high for me. So I'm working to get that down, but I'm not interested in selling any of my crypto. I'm just putting all my money into my retirement accounts, my savings, and paying off debt right now. So $28,000 for my cryptocurrency. In my Roth IRA, currently it's sitting at $3,600, which both my Roth and my 401k are lower than I want them to be. My focus these last 2 years that I've been working and making money has been to pay off debt and build up my emergency fund, both of which I have done as of last week actually. So now all my money is going to be put into my retirement accounts, and then hopefully soon I'll be able to build up some money in my brokerage account as well. So $3,600 in my Roth IRA. I've got $5,900 in my 401k, so that I've really only just started in this past year. The first job that I got out of college, they didn't have a 401k match, so I didn't put any money in my 401k. And then this new job I got has a good match, so I've been putting money in my 401k to get that match, and that's been great. I'm going to continue to grow this account as long as I'm working for this company. In my brokerage, I don't have anything right now until I start maxing out my retirement accounts regularly. I'm not going to have any money in that brokerage, but hopefully this year I'll be able to max out my Roth IRA, and then I'll start funneling some money into my brokerage. So we'll see if that happens, but that's the goal. My savings account is at $11,500 right now, which is about 3 to 4 months of my expenses. I spend somewhere in the $3,000 to $4,000 range each month. So happy with that for now. I do want to build a 6-month emergency fund. Student loans, I just paid off last week. I'm so stoked about that. I'm debt free now because I also paid off my car, like I said a while back. So that is great. I do have credit cards. I use them for essentially everything, but I pay them off in full every time I get a paycheck. So that's why those aren't included on here. I don't have any debt that I carry over month to month or even bi-weekly to bi-weekly, whatever you call that. So if we take a look at my assets, I have $49,325.02 as of recording this video. Got $0 in liabilities, so my net worth is equal to what my assets are, right? Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. My liabilities are 0, so my net worth is $49,325.02. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to be a millionaire, and I want to be a millionaire before I'm old and gray and don't have the energy to use my money. No offense, old gray people, but I want to be a millionaire when I'm younger. So I put together a plan last year to get me to $1 million net worth before I hit 40. And I'm going to break that plan down for you guys. Feel free to use this plan if you want. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is the plan that I've been sticking to this year. It's the plan that I hope will get me to that $1 million net worth. So this is how it works. When we take a look at this plan, on the far left, you've got my age. Obviously this year I'm 27, and I have the amount of money that I need to bring in that year. So this year it was $90,000. Then I have each month of the year broken down. We start in December because that's when my birthday is. You could start in January, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Then we have the amount of money that my portfolio is at the beginning of the month. So that's this column here. We have the amount of money that I'm going to invest each month. This is going to be the most important category. I need to be able to invest $1,500 every month this year, and that number is going to increase as we get older. Talk about that in a sec. And then we have the interest rate, which I'm calculating a 7% annualized return, which breaks down to 0.58 per month. And then we have the ending balance at the end of the month after I've invested and I've gotten that 0.58% return, which is 7% annually broken down by month. So that's how I've broken down this plan. Now, if you take a look at the next year, there's 2 things that change. The amount of money that I'm investing each month goes up by $500 a month, and the amount of income I need to bring in goes up by $10,000. That increase in income is what will allow me to increase my investing by $500 a month, and that $500 a month increase in the investing is just going to fast track my road to $1 million. So that's how this plan works, and you'll see if I scroll down, I end up hitting $1 million at 39, about halfway through 39. That's it. If we take a look at the beginning of this plan, it started off when I was at that $22,000 net worth last December, and we are in August now, when my net worth should have been at $37,000 according to this plan. And like we just went over, I was at $49,000, so significantly ahead of schedule. That's because I've actually been investing a little bit over $2,000 a month this year. I've made more than 90K. Also, I'm going to end up making 95 to 97,000 this year, so that was helpful as well. And the markets have just done well for me, specifically crypto. So there will be times, I'm sure, when I'm ahead of schedule. Like right now, there'll be times when the markets are down and I'm behind schedule, I'm sure. But as long as I make sure that I am following the monthly investment number, I'm going to be in a good place whether I hit the $1 million mark before 40, at 40, a little bit after 40. It doesn't really matter. I'll be in a really good spot 10 years from now as long as I can stick to this plan. Now, this plan is hard. The hard part is I've got to increase my income by $10,000 a year. That is not easy by any means. Last year I was able to do it. I was able to jump jobs and go from 75,000 to 88, and that plus my side hustle and 401k match and the bonus that I'll get at the end of the year should put me around that $95,000 to $97,000 range. Should be an easy jump this year to next year making 100k, but then continuing to do that year over year over year is going to be difficult. In my career field, which is interior and architectural design, it wouldn't be impossible, but it would be really damn hard to make that increase in income just off my salary. So it's going to be really important for me to focus on making money on the side. I've got a side hustle where I do real estate photography. That brings in a couple $1,000s a year. I'm going to need to increase that. And then, hopefully right now this YouTube channel is very new. I mean, I started it like 7 or 8 weeks ago. I'm not making any money from this right now. I'd love to, down the line, have this be an income source as well, maybe in the next 2 to 5 years. It'll be interesting to see how well I'm able to keep up and continue to make more money each year, but so far we're doing well, we're on the right track. The downside of this plan is it doesn't allow for any increase in lifestyle. I won't really be able to afford anything that I can't afford right now, so no matter how much money I make in between now and hitting that $1 million mark, this plan doesn't allow for me to get a nicer car or get a nicer house or get married or have kids or do anything that is out of the norm for me financially. I'm totally fine with that for the foreseeable future. I'm happy with my life. But if you are thinking of increasing your lifestyle for whatever reason, obviously you would need to increase the amount of income you're bringing in each year to be able to increase your investing at the same rate as this plan. So there you have it. If you're like me 4 years ago and you have a bunch of debt and no assets and you're scared to calculate your net worth because you know it's going to be bad, do it anyway. It is one of the best things that I've done for my personal finance journey. It has brought me a lot of motivation to be able to go look back and see all the growth and progress that I've made in the last couple years. So I highly recommend it. It's going to give you a lot of energy to continue pushing forward, especially once you get past that $0 net worth. That's a great moment. So good luck on your personal journey. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like the video. If you've got any feedback, any questions, drop those down in the comments below. I will get to all of them because I don't have any subscribers. And subscribe because I don't have any subscribers and it really helps, and I'm trying to build a community here of people who are interested in personal finance and want to grow and get money together. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.